We are completely cooked. We are cooked. This was the straw on the camel's back, and now it's been announced. Oh, I said to you guys this is going to get worse before it gets better. Right, so there's a mandatory digital ID that's been announced by the Prime Minister, which will be introduced for all adults in the UK. Expected announcement from the Prime Minister as early as tomorrow morning. The reason why this didn't pass before is because it was a breach of people's private and civil liberties. And now it's just been approved by... Oh my God, this guy, man. What is he doing? He's going to cause an... I'm not even going to say the words. So the purpose of government... The justification behind this is to reduce illegal immigration and tackle the small boats crisis. So giving everyone a digital ID is going to tackle the small boats crisis, which will have access to what? My banking information, my whereabouts, my travel, where I'm going. Really? My credit score? We know we have to leave the ECHR to get control of our borders. That's the only way around this. Because until you leave the ECHR, they're just going to circumnavigate and use the laws of the European Commission of Human Rights to keep people here. So until we leave that, there's no... What did I tell you guys before? If we don't leave the ECHR, there is no solution. They are outright lying, saying that this is the solution by giving everyone a digital ID when it didn't pass before because it was a breach of people's personal privacy. And now that's being passed tomorrow morning. Focus on removing the pull factor ability to work illegally in the UK. Employers and landlords will use a smartphone app to verify legal status. Government argues it will also help legal residents prove their right to work or rent more easily. Tony Blair has long advocated for ID cards as way to curb illegal working. The UK has historically resisted ID cards due to civil liberty concerns and doubts over effectiveness. France and other European countries already operate national ID systems, including but not limited to communist-run China. Will it actually stop the small boats? Well, we know that. It's not going to, because we need to leave the ECHR to get a grip on the situation. I'm very curious to see what Nigel Farage says about this, because this is not good. Again, if no backlash, disappointment and accusations of civil liberty erosion without solving the issue, again, it's not going to solve the issue. Concerns about state surveillance, privacy and loss of freedoms. Potential political backlash from those who view this as creeping authoritarianism. And that was said by Sky News. Okay, so, I mean, it's called the Brit card. And we're going to get an announcement on when it's going to be pushed upon every single adult in this country tomorrow morning by the Prime Minister himself.
Hello and welcome. Today we are dissecting the quiet revolution happening in the heart of British government, the rollout of a national digital ID system. This isn't just an optional login, it's a foundational change to how identity is verified across the UK, spanning public services and private sector. The UK has historically resisted national ID cards, but recent government plans signal a mass shift. Over the next 10 minutes, we will break down the technical backbone of this system. The centralized mechanism for accessing all government services. That's what the government of UK is called a one login. The trust framework, which is DIATF, the rules that govern who can verify your identity and how. The mandate, why this digital ID is becoming compulsory for key checks like right to work. The debate, the critical security, privacy, and inclusion concerns. This is the biggest identity infrastructure project in decades, promising efficiency and security, but raising fundamental questions about the state power and individual privacy. Let's start with the central piece of government's digital jigsaw, and that's gov.uk one login. The easiest way to understand the system is through its primary user interface, one login. For years, interacting with the state meant juggling separate accounts for HMRC, the DVLA, the Passport Office, and the Government Gateway. One login is designed to be the single secure and universal digital front door, but it does two distinct things. First, it's simple sign in requiring just a username, password, and two factor authentication for services that only need to know it's you. Second, and much more complex, it's an identity verification tool. This is where you prove to a government assured standard that you are who you claim to be. This is done by securely matching data from your passport, your driver license, or even bank records, often verified with a biometric check life, a selfie. Once your identity is verified, that information is saved in your secure one login space. The critical benefit for citizens is reusability. You provide, you prove identity once and then can securely reuse their verified status to access different government departments and services without having to submit the same documents over and over again. This centralization supporters argue is key to both cost savings for government and convenience for the citizens. What connects the government system to the broader economy is the UK Identity Attributes Trust Framework, DIATF. Think of this as the rule book. The DIATF is a set of standards and regulations that any organization, public or private, must adhere to if they want to certify to verify your identity. These certified companies are known as Identity Service Providers, IDSPS. The framework ensures that when an employer, a landlord, or a bank uses an IDSP to check your identity, they meet a high government mandated standard for security, data handling, and identity proofing. This is a crucial distinction. The system is designed to be interoperable, allowing third parties to participate but only under strict oversight. A core principle of the DIATF is selective disclosure or attributes based on verification. Traditional checks are blunt. Showing a passport reveals your full name, date of birth, place of birth, and nationality, even if the person only needs to confirm your age. The digital ID system aims to allow you to share only the attributes needed, for instance, a verifiable statement that you are over 18, or a simple confirmation of your right to rent status, minimizing the unnecessary sharing of sensitive and personal data. Now we arrive at the political lightning rod. The mandatory use of digital ID, while the government stresses that citizens won't have to carry ID day to day, they have announced that the digital credit will be mandatory as the sole means of providing a person's right to work and likely right to rent by the end of this parliamentary term. The government's justification is clear. This measure is presented as a crucial tool to combat illegal working, arguing that it will prevent those without legal status from securing employment, thereby strengthening border control. It also simplifies compliance for employers, replacing the reliance on complex paper document checks with an instant verifiable digital check. However, this mandate immediately raises concerns about digital exclusion. While the government has pledged a consultation and face to face support for those who struggle with digital services, critics argue that linking employment to a mandatory digital tool risks creating a two-tier society. Groups likely the elderly, the homeless, and those who choose not to own a smartphone could face significant barriers to finding work or housing regardless of their legal status. The final, most serious part of the debate is over: privacy and security. Proponents highlight that a digital ID on a biometric secure phone is safer than a piece of paper. If a phone is lost, the credential can be instantly revoked and reissued, but experts warn of the risks associated with centralized data. If the government or its certified partners store vast cross reference identity data sets, it creates an enormous hacking target. A single catastrophic breach could expose the entire population identity profile. Civil liberties groups also raised the alarm about mission creep and mass surveillance. They warned that a single government verified unique digital identity could allow the state to profile and track citizens' interactions across all linked public and private services. For activists, journalists, or critics of the government, this level of comprehensive data linkage poses a threat for free expression and anonymity. So the UK is standing at a technical crossroads. The digital ID system promises a streamlined, efficient, and fraud-resistant modern state, but delivering on that promises requires navigating an immense political, technical, and ethical minefield, ensuring that the push for efficiency does not come at the expense of fundamental liberties. The, the consultation phase is now critical. It's the public chance to shape the safeguards around what will become UK's new definition of identity. Thank you for watching. This has been Afrovision Network. Excuse me, I'm tired, y'all. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is this efficiency worth the risk of your privacy? Let me know in the comments. Tell me something, because eventually this stuff is coming here to the US and they are moving fast with this stuff. And whenever I did my research on this here, um, the main thing is they wants to control everything that we do because they trying to put us up under uh authoritarians. And by them controlling everything that we do, uh, that means if we need to go to the grocery store, and if we've been said something that we uh, that they deem is illegal towards the government or whatever the case may be, they can freeze your funds. So it's pretty much like uh, if we don't push back, we're gonna be screwed. That's all I can say. We really need to push back on this because this it done started over there in the UK and it's coming to the United States. It's probably knocking on the door right now as we speak. But I hope you guys got some out of this. I hope that you uh, look into this more. I will be talking about this a little bit more here later. And for you guys that hadn't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And the ones that have subscribed, make sure you share with your family and your friends and everything. And thank you again.